Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to my the post movie review. I don't know if I said that correct. Steven Spielberg's late Tom Hanks, and it is about the back right before the Watergate scandal during the Nixon administration. That really kind of put the Washington Post, right on the map. I learned a few things about this newspaper. I learned that it was a family business, and that this whole ordeal happened right around the time. This is in the movie. I assume it's factually correct. Maybe not. I don't know. Right around the time they went public with the company, it went from a family paper. It became a. They put it. They had a public offering, and so this whole ordeal with President Nixon trying to silence these papers getting out, um, could have jeopardized that whole initial public offering. And a lot of it, you see quite an arc from Meryl Streep. She's running the paper that she took over from her husband, and she has a nice arc. But I felt it was a little bit too convenient with the plot. Meryl Streep is great in this. I think she's going to get an Oscar nomination. I don't think she deserves to win. I've seen her do better. But she'll probably get a nomination. She always gets nominated. Tom Hanks plays one of her lead reporters, breaking this story about the government knowing that we couldn't win in Vietnam, and yet they decided to send people over there anyways, which was a horrible. Uh, I think that's a horrible thing to know that you can't win. I understand, with the Vietnam War, they were trying to duplicate the success that they had had in South Korea, but if all your intelligence says that you cannot win, it it was really awful. That whole situation was really awful. Let alone drafting people and forcing them to go, regardless of what their position was on the war. Um, anyway, a bunch of classified documents got leaked out illegally, and they were leaked out to different papers. The New York Times was the first one to publish it, and yeah, Richard Nixon filed an injunction, and then the Washington Post got their hands on it, and they were scared because of the public offering. And Meryl Streep, kind of in this movie, goes from this lady. She really knew what to say, and she knew it had to be done, but she was maybe so unsure of herself. A lot of it also having to do maybe the fact she was maybe a little intimidated, sitting in a boardroom full of men. She's the only woman in the room. And by the end, she comes up to her own. She's able to speak for herself. She doesn't need this one guy who was always at her side, kind of speaking for her. It was good to see that her character develop that way, but I did feel like it kind of like it was sort of like a quick turn. She suddenly all of a sudden now she believes in herself. Um, One interesting thing about this, and the Supreme Court, this trial went to the Supreme Court really quickly because it was like it came from the Attorney General of the United States against a major paper. Well, a local paper, now a major paper, but it got escalated to Supreme Court within 2 weeks. It's not like a small little case, like a child custody case that, oh yeah, Supreme Court, okay, that'll take 5 years. But because this is coming directly from the president, it got escalated very quickly. Um, and the judge ruled that the purpose of the press is to serve the governed, and not those that govern. And it was really interesting how it seemed like before this incident took place, all the newspapers were kind of in bed with the government. They were friends with the presidents. They would go over to the house for dinner, go to their birthday parties, always mention them in a positive light. So I think with the beginning of the Vietnam War, and this is why I really don't like Richard Nixon as a president. He's one of my least favorite presidents. That's because I feel like he him becoming president sort of, it's not so much him because this movie implicates, and in reality, yeah, the Vietnam thing started just even a little bit before John F. Kennedy. Um, but it's like a dark turn that America took, and that we're still kind of like off and on, back and forth with ourselves. That's what we want our role to be in the world. Anyway, yeah, I enjoyed this movie. I don't think that is this magnificent Oscar caliber type. It's a well made movie. Um, if I had to describe it in one word, it would be textbook. It's a very textbook movie. Spielberg is in my opinion, the greatest filmmaker of all time. Right now, he's not my favorite, but I'd say he's the greatest. My favorite's Tarantino, but I got to give it to Spielberg. And you've got Meryl Streep there and Tom Hanks, who both are great, two of the best actors that have ever lived. Yeah, it's a good competent movie. If you like these sort of political esque, it's not a political thriller. It's more of a political drama. Um, yeah, it's good. A couple moments felt a little bit emotionally kind of short for me. Uh, but it's a good movie. On the Star Strider scale, I'm gonna go ahead and rate it. Um, I think I'd give this movie a 78. Remember, 50 is average, so I give this movie about a 78. I want to say maybe an 80, but certain parts didn't. It just didn't connect with me. I never really got emotional at any point. So yeah, it's a 78. It's a good matinee watch. Again, if you're not a movie person that goes all the time, I'd say, this is might not be the one. This is not the one. This is not the film you're looking for. So anyways, did you guys watch it? Let me know what you guys think. Like and subscribe, comment below, and I'll see you guys later. All right, bye.